So it's caldo season, and today I'm showing you guys how to make this caldo de res with lots of veggies. It's super flavorful and very healthy. I know you guys will love it, so let's get started. So whenever making my caldo de res, I like to buy this type of meat, which is the beef shank center cut or espinilla con hueso, and that's exactly why I like it, because it has a bone and that really gives the caldo a really good flavor. Also, I like that it has a little bit of fat, not too much, so it'll release it and it also gives the caldo more flavor. This meat is almost impossible to mess up. It's really tender, so you don't really have to cook it on super low heat. So this is why I recommend this type of meat. Alright guys, so we have our piece of meat right here, and what we're going to do is cut it into little squares so we can start boiling it. What I'm going to do is leave some meat around my bone so my bone isn't just bare, because a lot of people like to suck on it and eat the middle part that gets really soft, and it's called tuétano in Spanish. Also, I would like to point out that if you like to remove the excess fat, you're really welcome to. This won't release a lot of fat, it's mostly tendon, but it's up to you guys on how you want to do it. So in my pot, I added 7 cups of water, which is not filled all the way, so it won't overflow. And I have my meat, and as you can see, I cut separately this little piece of fat because I do want it to boil with the meat so it could give it some flavor, but I don't want it to eat it. So I will take it out once it starts boiling, and I will add this in my pot along with a little piece of onion and some salt. I usually don't like to add too much salt because I don't like it to be super salty. You can always add some salt, but you can never subtract it. So make sure that you don't make your food super salty at the beginning, because you can always add more later down the line. Now that we've added our meat, we're going to cover it up. I have it on medium-high heat, which is a 6 on my stove, and that's perfect because you want your meat to start boiling. Once it starts boiling, it'll release all the fat and it'll be on top. You get a little spoon and you take it out. While we're getting our meat to boil in the back, we're going to start cutting up some veggies. For my caldo de res, I like to add some corn, calabacitas, some zanahoria, which is carrot, and potatoes. I love these potatoes because they're super soft, but some people prefer the red ones, which are also really good. And I like to chop them in not very big pieces. Like the corn, I typically cut it in 3s, so it's a perfect size. These already have been washed, so they're good to go. And the carrots, I don't like to cut them too big either, so it just depends on how big you want your veggies in your caldo. You guys can add any type of veggies that you would like. Actually, it tastes good with anything. Sometimes ejotes are really good, which are green beans. I've seen some people add some broccoli and some cauliflower, which I thought was crazy, but it's actually super good. And if you know how to make caldo, you can usually interchange the type of veggies that you add. You can add any type of veggies. It'll taste delicious. Now, we all know that making caldo is probably the first step into señora life. Making caldo is so essential because if your kids get sick, if your man gets sick, you have to make them some caldito. That's the perfect comfort food, especially in a Mexican household. You don't have to call your suegra and be like, oh, give me your caldo recipe, because you're going to have your own and it's going to be delicious. Everybody's going to be so proud of you. Your man's going to love you for making him the most delicious caldo ever. So about 10 minutes have passed, and as you could see, I don't know if you could see in here, but I'll show you guys. This little fat has been forming around. What I'm going to do is take it out. Make sure that your caldo doesn't have that excess fat floating around. Alright guys, so it's been about 25 minutes and my meat, of course, is not super soft yet, but that's fine because we're going to add our veggies. And as you know, our potatoes take longer to cook, which is why we're going to add our potatoes. And also, our carrots take quite a while to cook, which is why we're also going to be adding our carrots. Along with that, we'll be adding un cubito de caldo de res Knorr, which is this. And we're going to add 1 of these. And a can of tomato sauce. It's open funky because I broke my can opener, so I had to open it with a knife. It was such a struggle, but I got through it, and we're going to pour it in here. After you've added that, make sure that you kind of stir it so the cubito Knorr could dissolve. And add a lid back on. So it's been 15 minutes and our potatoes and our carrots and meat should be a lot softer by now. If you're in doubt, you can always get a fork and poke it with it, and if it goes easily through the potato, that means that it's softer. But 15 minutes should be enough. And what we're going to do now is add our calabacita and our corn. It's been 15 minutes since we added our calabacita and our corn, and they're already cooked. These cooked fairly quickly, so our caldo is pretty much ready. It looks delicious. It smells even better. I can't believe you guys can't smell it through the screen. The final thing we're going to do is sprinkle on a little bit of cilantro. A lot of people like to sprinkle on some peppermint leaves, and those are actually really good too. I just prefer cilantro. So I'm going to sprinkle on some cilantro just to add the final touch. It's up to you guys if you want to try the peppermint leaves or this. They're both equally delicious, but it's just up to you. About 45 minutes later, and this is the outcome of our caldo. Alright sisters, so that's it for this video. I know it's a little time consuming, but it's super easy and really well worth it at the end, you guys. It tastes delicious, and yeah, I hope you guys really enjoy it. Until next time.